We are back in the studio, episode 3. We got a good one for you. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to episode 3. We are the Simps. I'm your boy, Wizzo the Wino. I got my co-host over there, MJ, that's me.
Yes,
and
sir.
we got 2 special guests in the building because we are going hard tonight. We have my boy right here, Real, in the building.
All day.
And we got my boy beside him, T.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
All right. And today we breaking it down. All right. From a men's perspective, I think this is something that really hits home with a lot of people. And like I said, we're going to try to change it around a little bit because I know we said we're going to do a different episode in episode 2. But after me and MJ got to talking to a lot of people, we had to touch on this a little bit. So from a male perspective, what do we require? Love or respect? All right. So Real, let me ask you this question. Have you ever been in a situation where, I don't know, dating or married or whatever the case may be, where you felt love, however you felt there was a lack of respect? If so, how did you handle that situation? And tell me what you prefer to have.
First of all, the answer is yes. Definitely been in a situation where I felt I was getting love but wasn't receiving any type of respect. And I think that for me, the way that looked, I'll give just one example. When you're in a relationship, especially when, you're in a relationship with a woman and you need her to do something. Yeah. You talk, hey baby, can you take care of this? Can you do that? But she has a million questions. If you respect me and you trust me, just take my word and trust me to make that thing happen. But instead you got a million questions about it. So therefore the process is slowed down now. We're trying to progress, but you're slowing us down because of your questioning. Because for whatever reason you don't trust me, or you just whatever. Sometimes you don't even understand what the reason is behind it. But the way you work through it, man, just conversation. Like you gotta be comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations and challenging the person that you're with, and letting them know, like, hey, look, this is what I need from you. And if you get to a situation or get to a place where you feel like you can't have those conversations anymore, then it's time to walk away.
MJ, how you see it? How you see it?
Love versus respect. We ask this question like all through the week, you know what I'm saying? And I've asked male and female. On the female side, they want love. Mm-hmm. No lie, they want love. I think it's like the emotional connection, maybe the intimacy or whatever, the case may be.
The support.
The support, of course, of the support. But on the guy's side, fellas want love, but they demand respect. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Certain type of guys, not all guys. Guys in this room, we demand that type of respect. So I gotta have my respect. We were making a joke earlier. You almost could keep your love. We say that's married as a joke, but yeah, I gotta have my respect. For respect over everything.
So T, tell me how you see it. So respect versus love. How do you see that, and how do you express that?
For me, I was married 20 years. And my then wife was like 7 years older than me. So I mean, for me, it just like everybody else, I got to have the respect. Because if I don't have respect from you, then honestly I don't really have nothing. Because I mean, far as the love aspect, if you be with me for 20 years, I know you love me. But it's the respect. Like if you can't respect me, if I say, well, hey babe, I need you to do XYZ, whatever. I mean, if you can't trust me enough, like my brother said, Rev, if you can't trust me enough to roll with me and allow me to lead you, then I mean, it's really nothing for us to do. I mean, because you're so independent that you can't listen to what I say.
All right, so let's stay right there. So we're talking about leading, and if I don't have that respect
it's impossible
it's impossible for me to leave because
Right.
you already stuck in your mind.
Exactly.
So let's talk about how social media plays a role in it. So we have Instagram, we have Facebook, and we have all these people, all these strong black women. And no disrespect, I want a strong black woman. I want you to be strong,
We got
but
it.
I want you to also understand how strong can also show disrespect in the house.
Right.
And so if you want me to lead you, but you want A, B, C, and D, but the only thing you can offer me is A because you feel like that's what I deserve, not what I'm telling you I need.
Right.
How do we change that perspective?
I think there needs to be an understanding. You know, like you got to have the conversation, like Rev said. And if you can't have the conversation where, hey, you know, this has got to be the common ground, but on top of the common ground, somebody got to be the head.
Right.
And if we believe, you know, if we believe the same thing, then I mean, and we done walked down the aisle and did our Christian vows, you know, then
Paperwork.
you understand that there's a hierarchy to the family. And since there's a hierarchy to the family, I'm the man.
The hierarchy nowadays from the modern woman is said to be, oh, you want me to live in the 1960s. So Real, tell me how we changed that.
The thing is with that, I mean, I think women have to shift their perspective and understand what it means to be submissive. Because I mean, that's kind of what it boils down
Right.
to.
That's a poisonous word. Submissive now.
You know, it's a poisonous word to those that don't want to receive
You don't
the truth.
understand it.
You don't want to receive the
They
truth.
won't keep it real.
They don't want to
Thank
receive
you.
the
Thank
truth.
you,
So
bro. Thank
you can be submissive without being a
slave.
pushover. You can be submissive without being somebody that's just, you know, drugged through the mud. You know what I'm saying? You can still be respected while being submissive.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a wife that respects her man, is submissive to her man, knows that he's in control, but also knows that if he needs her for anything, she got his back.
Right.
Like she doesn't have the same say as him, but she has his ear. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So whatever he says is like, you know, babe, this the way I want to go. And she's either gonna say, okay, babe, I'm with you, or, well, babe, look at it this way. Those are only two ways you need to come at it when you have a man that's leading. Walk down the aisle, making our Christian vows, you know, love, honor, obey. The word obey is in there. You know what I'm saying? And if the word obey is in there, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength to follow.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is, bro.
It's hard to
Yes,
follow
it is,
somebody.
bro.
So when you can sit there and say, you know what, why you marry him if you don't trust him enough to let him lead you? You trust him enough to give you a child? To be the man of your house? But you don't trust him enough to make decisions? Like, I think that, and not going back to the first question, but I think it's kind of weird that love is so subjective in a sense. You have one woman that says, you ask her what's love, she'll say 10 different things. You ask another woman what's love, she'll say 10 completely different things. But respect is
Facts.
always the same.
Yes,
Facts.
It's always the
Facts.
same.
Sir.
It does
Facts.
not shift. So the thing is,
Facts.
women can be sometimes so emotional, and this is true. Women can be so emotional sometimes that they don't even know what kind of love they need. And therefore, because they don't know what kind of love they need, they don't even know what kind of love to give a man. And they've been in households where mom, aunties, men ain't nothing, men ain't this, men ain't that.
Yeah.
And so they grow up thinking men ain't this and men ain't that. And they don't even know how to respect a man.
MJ, why do women get pissed off when you tell them you don't know how to be a wife?
Let me see. Let me see.
You know, how much time you got?
That they don't know how to be a wife. I just think it's an emotional thing. The thing about it, nobody wants to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? People say all day long, tell them the truth. But when you tell them the truth, there's a problem. And when truth come out, it's something that has to be done. You have to work. It's some work got to be done. You know what I'm saying? No difference. He say, okay, baby, can you do this? You know what I'm saying? You ought to run this play for me without having to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's times like, I think guys get it hard. Guys like us. I ain't gonna say every guy. I want to keep it. I want to make it clear. I'm not saying all men. Men in this room, you get it hard because we provide, we protect, we do all this, all the things that we're expected to do. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't have their respect, there's no way I can jump in front of a bullet. We have to lay out our lives for ours. You know what I'm saying? If somebody come to your family, your kids, what are you gonna do? You're supposed to be the one to jump in front of you without even thinking.
Blinking.
The man's he's gonna react. You know what I'm saying? A real man's gonna react.
Right.
But I would think a man would have pause. for somebody that don't respect him. You know what I'm saying? If you can't respect me, you got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's
So T, I'm gonna come at you.
Okay.
Married for 20 years, so you got everybody in the room beat.
Okay.
You're asking your wife to do something, and she's showing you that I'm going to do this. However, I need this done. How do you even out that lane of, okay, you want me to do A, B, and C, but when I ask you, I need this, I need that, I need this, you're only giving me the limited source. How are you explaining to her, you can't expect me to give you the world if you only giving me crumbs?
Well, I believe that a good leader needs to be able to explain and show.
How does the good leader do that?
You know,
Because educate me, because I need help.
so I mean, when you're teaching, like like if you're a coach, and you're teaching your like I was a postman, in basketball. I played in the post a lot, so the best person to coach you is a coach that's played in the post before. So I mean, he's teaching you the moves, showing you how to do it, and like you when you go left, you pivot, you pivot with your right. When you go right, you pivot with your left. So he's teaching me and he's showing me action.
Yeah.
He's showing me action as he's showing me. So I believe that, if I want my wife to do something and she's asking me to do something, I think I gotta lead by example first. I have to show her that, hey, I can do what you're asking me to do, but at the same time, see how easy it is for me to watch this, submit my will, because that's what submitting is laying down my will to please you.
Mm-hmm.
So see how I'm you may have nagged me to death, but I'm gonna get it done because I don't want to hear you nagging, for one. And then I'm showing you that I can do this. So because I'm showing you I can do this, I need that same thing from you. So I have to show her in love, which is a hard thing for men to do, to show a woman in love.
So tell me, how do you do that? Because I know me, I can get frustrated very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm a person who says, oh, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and I ask you to do this, and I get this shit back, and so how do I change that narrative where I can show love and still have that same expectation of what I need to feel respected?
Patience.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Gotta have patience.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, patience, and that's it's crazy. Go ahead.
Patience. That's the only way. I think something's going on. But patience is the only way that you're going to be able to navigate through the bull crap that the women that your wife or your significant other brings at you. I mean, because because it's so easy to be like, God dog it, this, and then you're fussing and stuff like that. But if you go ahead and get it done, I mean, because if something that needs to be done, as much as you hate to do it, you're going to get up and do it because it needs to be done. So if she's asking you something, it needs to be done. All right, let me just cut across the field and go ahead and do it. And, I may fuss and be pissed off while I'm doing it, but at the end goal, I compromise in order to get it done. Now everybody's happy, and I can rest in peace. Because if I don't have the peace, I'm gonna be unhappy anyway.
Okay, so real. Let me ask you a question. As far as love and respect, what is peace to you? Say you had a long day at work.
Mm-hmm.
Say you walking in the house. You forgot to take something out. You forgot to deliver something. You forgot to drop something out. However, you've had to deal with so many people at work, and you just want that peace.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle this situation?
Man, it's weird for me because like I'm able to never bring work home. Like I when I say I can totally separate it, I can leave work at work.
That is hard for women to do.
It's very hard for women to do. And so if I go home and I need some peace, I need some relaxation, I need some moments, I need to just chill, I need whatever it may be, or if I just need some space from her, then it's I believe in communication, man. Like I think that a lot of times in relationships, most relationships fail because people fail to communicate. In any relationship, like I mean, he mentioned it earlier, talking about being a Christian and whatnot. If I'm a Christian and I have a relationship with God, my relationship with God is going to fail if I don't communicate. Same thing with my relationship with my woman. If I'm not talking to her, if I'm not communicating with her and being open and honest about it. Like he was saying a minute ago, you got to be willing to, like the Bible says, husbands love your wives as Christ loves the church and gave his life for her. And the thing is, like women got it easy, like respect. It should be easy. Just respect them. Just give them the same respect you give your boss at work, same respect you give anybody. That should be easy. But when it comes to loving somebody and being willing to give yourself up for them, that's hard. You got to get rid of pride. You got to get rid of ego. You got to get rid of so many different things and realizing who you're doing it for, because it's not just about you. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about her either. Realizing that when you make a vow, it's not just you and her standing up there. It's God standing right there too. And realize you submitting to him and saying, you know what, God, this hard. Your daughter getting on my nerves right now. But because that's what she's needing, that's what she wants, I'm going to do it for her because I'm doing it primarily for you. And looking at her and seeing who she is. But when it comes to peace, man, it's just all about communication and being willing. And I keep saying it, having those uncomfortable conversations, man. That's something I can't lie. Mark has been a big bro to me for probably 20-something years now. And one thing he's always be willing to have those difficult conversations. And that's what I'm willing to do, man. Have those conversations.
T, how do you have difficult conversations?
It's difficult to have difficult conversations,
man.
But at the end of the day, I mean, you got to tell the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes that truth hurt, man. So I mean, it's just gotta just bring it to them like straight up.
All right, MJ. Well, if you get the talk back after telling the truth, how do you pivot? How do you pivot?
If you get the talk back after the truth, man, look here, bro. If you get talk back after the truth, man, the pivot is we need counseling. You know what I'm saying? Because
real.
Bro, it like you say, you get off every day I get off work, bro. My kids know, my wife know, my dog know. I need 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Relax.
I think that's
quiet
every man in the
time
world.
when I get home.
I think that's every man in the world, and so many women don't understand it.
Bro, It is so freaking important. Like, it's just grabbing your thoughts, letting the day go. You even, like, I be making plans for the next day. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to have a time to unwind. And then my wife, no lie, she had to catch herself sometimes because she wake up like that. You know what I'm saying? My girl, man, she's bubbly all the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And she had to catch herself like, oh, well, all right, well, hold on, man. I'll give you a second. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to have my time. You know what I'm saying? As far as the pivot go, man, that particular woman, she just don't want to understand. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You cannot live with somebody or be married to somebody and be that difficult. You know what I'm saying? If the thing about it, about having truth, we can all fix everything with truth. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop lying. People, we got to stop lying, have honest conversations, bro. And that will fix everything. Honest conversations is going to be hard. It's going to be tears. It may be some yelling. It may be, it got to happen, bro. Honest conversations got to happen. That's the way to get change, bro.
All right. Hey, the first round was straight. We hit it a little hard, but when we come back for that second round, it's going to be a little tense. All right. So, hey, we got to go to commercial. We got to play some bills. We'll be right back. Hey, episode 3 is brought to you by Dream Media. If you need anything done, podcasts, commercials, anything of that nature, hit my boy up, Dream. Dream motivates, Dream Media. Also, need a fresh cut? Elite Barbers, Cedar Hills. Look it up, Booski. Or is it Booski or Booski? Booksy.
Yeah.
I can't speak.
Hit your boy
but
up.
Hit up.
That's my
Barbershop.
MJ.
And hey,
yes, sir.
To all my black people out there in the world, it is time for us to change our lineage. Get your finances straight. if you need to discuss anything about finances, how to grow your money, how to put yourself in a situation where you can change the lineage of your family, leadwithloveagency.com. Talk to a financial specialist today to put you in that right situation so you can not only grow your money, however, change the lineage of your children, your grandchildren, and your children's children. Leadwithloveagency.com. Hit them up. All right, we are back for round 2.
Sure.
All right, fellas. Love versus respect. So, T, I got to come to you, the man that was married for 20 years.
The vet. He's an old vet.
The vet. It was Veterans Day.
Right.
You know, hey.
For 20 years, T, how did you keep it popping in your marriage? I mean, did you have to, I mean, from a respective standpoint, because I don't want to disrespect, did you have to, you know, continue to tell your wife, hey, you got to pop up a pimp when I come home? Or you got to, I mean, you got to lay it down. How was that conversation?
Well, I mean, it never, like, that part of the relationship never was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just the motherly issue that I had, you know. Sometimes when you date an older woman, they tend to feel like, oh, I'm older than you. I know more than you. I've been around longer than you. So, I mean, what you saying to me, like, I've already been there and done that with the last dude or whatever. But okay, I'm older than the dude that you was talking to at the time y'all was going through what you were going through. So, I mean, and I'm not that dude. So, I mean, so what we're going through now, it should be able to, I mean, I'm 20 years, we made it 20 years, or at that time, 15, 10, or whatever it was. I mean, you should trust me by now. I mean, I'm at the point where I love you and I never let anything happen to you. I'm your protector. I'm your provider. I'm your priest of the house. So, I mean, can you trust me you trust me with, you know, to pay the bills. Trust me with everything else. I mean, you trust me to get up and go handle a issue at the door if one arises. So you stay in the bed. You send me to get up and go, which is fine because I'm the protector.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, I never had the other issues.
So I'll lean on that. Real. So why do women think they could tell a man how to be a man?
I think
Respect and love, man.
I think that the reason that women feel like they can tell a man how to be a man is because most women grew up without a man in the house to see what one is.
That part. Now,
so
speak on it, because you know a lot of people don't understand that shit right there.
And it's the truth. I mean, like, you see it all the time. You have a NFL player go to a high school. NFL, the high school kids think maybe I can go to the league because they seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, a lawyer come to school, career day, I can be a lawyer too. He black, he look like me. She black, she look like me. They believe in something. But when you grow up in a household as a woman without a father to teach you what a man looks like, how a man operates, the things that make a man, because nowadays a man can say something in a calm tone to a woman, but it's coming across as aggressive because you never saw a man in the house talking in any kind of fashion. So you see social media, all men are toxic, all men are this, all men are that. That's where a lot of women get their ideal or ideology of what a man is.
Mm-hmm.
They're basing it on something that they're seeing, but nothing they've ever experienced.
Man, you heard a lot of people feelings
and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's the ugly truth of a lot of women and even men too. And sometimes men, we don't know how to be men because we didn't grow up with a man in the house. We don't know what it looks like, how it's supposed to operate. But a lot of women, they feel like they can tell a man what to do because, I mean, think about it. If you grow up in a house with nothing but women telling everybody what to do, when you get older, oh, I guess I'm supposed to do this too. I'm supposed to tell everybody what to do and how they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to operate, even the man that I'm with.
Yeah.
Baby, you're not a man, so I need you to stop talking to me as if you were one. How do you express that?
So I'm a man that we can lay down together. I mean, but I'm not a man when I'm not laying down with you. So I mean, I'm a man all the way down to the fiber of my being, to my bone structure. I'm a man all the way. Ain't no way in the world you can't tell me that I'm not a man. I could die today and they could dig me up 100 years later.
Still a man.
I'm still a man. So, I mean, you can say to me, I mean, just because you resting in your masculinity don't mean that you can tell me I'm not a man.
Should a woman, MJ, have masculinity in her? Should she protrude that? So, I mean, I look at the most successful men, black men who were married to black women.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Gucci Mane, Denzel Washington. What's his name? Chase Card.
Chase Card.
Baldhead, who does the Chase Card commercials. Oh, what's his name? I'll come back to it. Anyway, but those are women who kind of stood in the background and helped their men excel to the next level. However, when you hear them talk, they're the women who are really the most successful because they knew how to support their man in a certain way. A lot of women get lost on, hey, I need you to stand behind the curtains while I do this.
Right.
But if you can't do that, you want me to support you in a way, but you want me to just stand back while you be this masculine person. How do we change that narrative? And how do we get them from that social media mindset?
The social media got everybody screwed up. Housewives of Atlanta got everybody screwed up. All these reality TV shows got everybody screwed up. It's a bunch of lies. And people, they love entertainment. Life is not entertainment. You can play with your life if you want to, but as far as masculinity out of a woman, you just name some powerful women. You name Denzel Washington's wife. You can, you can go down the line. I don't look at her as being masculine at all. All the powerful women behind me, you can look at Michelle Obama. I don't look at them being masculine, but I look at them being very powerful women that have stood with their man, beside their man, and their man go to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, it doesn't do anything as far as it's no knock on them, because the type of women they are, that's the type of women that we are looking for. You know what I'm saying? Don't no man want a woman that's mouthy all the time. Don't want to hear all the complaining all the time. We don't want to hear it's just men want peace. I think respect, peace, understanding. You know what I'm saying? I think every man need a place where he can go get some time to himself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's truly important. Women, single women today, I think they really just got it. I'll go to my barber chair, just talking to men, young men right now. I say, what the dating scene looking like? Bro, they say everybody, all the women want something for nothing. Pretty much, they want something for nothing. And you look up now, we can't even take to the Cheesecake Factory. I took my wife to the Cheesecake Factory yesterday, just for dessert, but we went to the Cheesecake Factory though. You can't put no stipulation on me as far as a man, what I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're that type of woman, you ain't the woman I want. You know what I'm saying? You ain't the woman we want. You know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be a lot of single women out there confused and hurt and
it is.
And lost. They lost right now. It's so many of them lost right now, bro. It's a trip, you know what I'm saying? But I let them roll with that, bro.
So I look at I know you all going back to the Cheesecake Factory. So I know we all saw the commercial about the lady sitting in the car and got pissed off about the guy taking her to Cheesecake Factory. I think it was a skit. However, I think it gave us as a black community a lot of messages on what really happens because our black women now are going out getting the BBLs and things of that nature. And I've literally talked to someone about this while I was in the airport when I was coming from LA. And I just asked the question just for the simple fact that we're doing a podcast. I was like, why did you go and get the BBL? And she said, I get attention. It built my confidence. And I get what I want.
She was honest.
Yeah.
She was absolutely honest.
And she was 50.
Oh, Jesus.
Never been married. Had 3 kids. But then, but she the last thing she said was, the only thing about this situation is I always end up sleeping by myself once I get everything I want.
Wow.
How do we change that narrative?
Bro, she could have been 27 with 3 kids and been in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Bro, I don't even mean to make a mention of this brother because he rest in peace. Black women, y'all better go find them Kevin Samuel tapes. I promise you, he gonna save y'all.
It'll help your life. It'll help you.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first was hearing, I didn't like the clips I was seeing. I'm like, man, you're attacking out queens. You know what I'm saying? You're attacking out women. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't cutting for it, but I started watching the whole show, and I listen how our women think, bro. It's absolutely crazy, bro. It is absolutely crazy. The mentality of, I don't even want to say black women, bro, but it is. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
It's black women, bro. I hate to say that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get that from no other race.
True.
You don't get that from no other race. I almost said shit. You don't get that shit from no other race. Go ahead, Wayne.
Going back to that, I'll tell you about a story. I was in the, when I was in the military. And this really touched home with me because how families come together. The guy I was, my roommate, he was a white guy. Him and his wife were going through problems. I mean, like every time she would call, he would say, hey, babe, how you doing? How the kids? She would be like, kids are doing fine, but you get on my goddamn nerves.
Hey.
That's how she would go. So one day he invited me to his house. And he said, man, you've been hearing my wife, the way she's been speaking, we're about to go through a divorce. So when I go to his house, his parents are there. Her parents are there. And we're sitting at the dinner table. And he said, Mr. Wild, I know you're here. I don't know if you know about the situation, but we need to have a conversation as a family. And what the two fathers said, we've been talking. And we need you all to understand that if you get a divorce, the plans that we have for you and the lineage we have set for our families, you break that up. I've never seen a black family do that. It's always my mother-in-law pissed off with you, or your mother-in-law pissed off with me, or your cousin in your goddamn ear telling you need to leave him alone or you need to leave her alone. Why isn't it that our family can have that respect for our bond and keep us together? T.
I mean, because as a black race, we're broken.
But we've been through so much. We've been the most oppressed, civil rights. And why don't we still get it?
I mean, we're broken. It's a deep broken.
Yeah.
We need, all black folk need therapy.
Counseling, yes, sir.
I mean,
We're afraid of therapy now.
I mean, hey,
that's a poison word.
We're afraid of it, but it's needed. It's in dire need. You know what I'm saying? Like, we jealous of each other. I mean, even from the light skin to the skin colors. We don't even deal with people in Africa, where we come from. Yeah. We have problem with people in Haiti, Jamaica. We don't see them as us. We don't see Africa as us. I mean, we all can.
Yeah.
But we don't have that understanding that, hey, brother, I got your back no matter what. We killing each other, over the littlest minute things.
Right.
So I mean, so there's no togetherness with us. So we can never get to. Now I'm not gonna say we can never get there, but we're not there like they are, and they've been there for ever.
So real. From your background, I know you counsel a lot, and how do we change the narrative to where we all come together? Because the Caucasian race, you don't see them fighting against each other on TV, like the housewives of Atlanta and stuff like that. Or you don't see us telling my child, another woman telling her daughter, you don't need a man. All you need a man to do is just pay your rent and pay your car note, but you don't need to give them anything else. How do we counsel them? How do we change that narrative to make sure, hey, a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man? That is how life is supposed to be. How do we change that?
Downstairs, you said you want us to be honest.
Keep it 1,000.
It won't happen.
Why?
The sad part is it won't happen because you have too many generations of broken families, too many generations of broken people, too many generations of people not willing to be honest with each other and to speak the truth to each other so let each other know how we can get better, how we can come together. You mentioned the in-laws and whatnot. How can I be connected to an in-law when I'm not connected to the ones that I'm in love with, that I share blood with? So I'm not going to be connected to them if I can't share love with the people I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? We're just so broken. We're always trying to outdo each other. There's something in us that just that's always wanting to outdo somebody else. And the thing is, it's not everybody. They're in the Black community. If we're not like that, we're outliers. And the white community or other races and ethnicities, if they're the opposite of together, then they're the outliers. Like we're just so broken that being together is seen as different and weird. You know, I'm thankful because I have a group of men that I do life with, and you know, we see each other like, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Like, how's things going with your family? Like, and when we leave, all right, brother, I love you. When I'm at the shop, all right, Marcus, I love you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can show love because we have that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that companionship. But outside of that, you go to the streets. I mean, nobody got that. And people just kill their best friends for some shoes. We just don't have it. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people go through so much and they keep it in the house, and we don't get better because what mom and dad used to say, or what mom used to say, what happened in this house, stay in this house. But the thing that's hurting me the most is happening in this house. So I can't talk about it, and I got to go home to it, and I'm dealing with it. So I can never get better because I'm constantly dealing with the sickness because the sickness is in my house. So we can't get better.
Hey, man, look, everybody who saw this episode tonight just got a lacing. Y'all just got a lacing. It was a little soft episode too, but I told you we were gonna bring that heat episode through. Man. So, man, I appreciate my guests.
I appreciate
you all are welcome back anytime.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing that. Usually, I have something to say at the end, but listen, I'm good. All right. Hey, I appreciate everybody joining in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It is the Simps. We'll see you next time.